Well, DeBerg will start for Testaverde today, and that sends a message to this entire team. In fact, during the game last week against Detroit, Weich went up to each unit of his team, his offense, his defense, his special teams. He says, I'm looking for anybody that's going to quit. You quit on me, you're out of here. He's desperate to turn this program around.
Well, it is a handicapped team that comes in today trying to break this three-game losing streak, and they go up against the Jim Mora coach team, the New Orleans Saints. That is a very quiet 5-2. They were 7-0 a year ago at this time. Everybody was paying attention. Now nobody seems to notice them.
Everybody is talking about San Francisco in the NFC West being the best team, maybe in all of football, and Mora kind of likes that. He was very relaxed talking to us yesterday, and even though they were 7-0 last year at this time, and they're just 5-2 now, he says this is a better team. He says that because they're more relaxed, they're more focused, and he's got that great defense led by Swilling and Jackson, who are the number 2 defense in the NFL as far as sacking the quarterback.
New Orleans Saints. That is Gary Lane, our official. And Jim Mora, winning his coach in New Orleans Saint history. The Saints lost the season opener 15-13 to Philadelphia. They lost at home 16-10 to San Francisco, so they are 8 points away from a perfect season. Steve DeBerg, the oldest quarterback in the National Football League, oldest player in the NFL, and named the starter on Monday, Vinny Testaverde. He is the...
Yeah, there'll be a lot of speculation as to just what this move means as far as Vinny's future. We've already heard Terry Bradshaw on the NFL Today this morning talk about Vinny maybe moving on to another team. That kind of opens things up for Sam Weich's old quarterback in Cincinnati, Boomer Esiason. Rumors about him coming down to Tampa Bay.
Well, he's had a troubled career in Tampa, but look at this. He is the only quarterback who has led the Bucs to victory since 1988.
A lot of zeros there. Chris Chandler, Joe Ferguson, and Carlson not having any success substituting for Testaverde.
Ken Willis will kick it off. Fred McAfee and Dalton Hilliard are the deep men as we're underway. The 5-2 New Orleans Saints against the 3-4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. McAfee at the goal line. Knocked down as he gets to the 15. The tackle is made by Darrell Fullington. Bobby Hebert, fresh from his career best 2 weeks ago, 355 yards in a win at Phoenix. The Saints, of course, had a bye last week. Cooper, Dombrowski, Hilgenberg, Kennard, Brock, and the tight end is Hobie Brenner.
We talked about two things there, Vern. Number one, that he had his career best 2 weeks ago, and number two, that he had a bye last week. I don't think there's any quarterback in the world that after you have a super day, as Bobby did against Phoenix, wants to take the next week off.
On 1st and 10 from the 15, Wesley Carroll comes to the near side. Two wide receivers split wide right. They hand it off to Von Dunbar, maybe 2 yards. And now give him a third as he gets out near the 18-yard line. Defensively, for the Buccaneers, Santana Dotson, a rookie record already, 7 sacks in 7 games. Seals, Wheeler, and McCants join him on the front line. The linebackers, Jimmy Williams, the leading tackler in the ball club. E.J. Jr. is a starter at the middle. He replaces an injured Calvin Tiggle, just signed this week. Reynolds, Mack, Fullington, and Carter in the secondary. 2nd and 6. Play fake. Hebert into the flat for Hayward. And Craig Hayward has a first down at the 34-yard line. Tackle made by Broderick Thomas.
Seems like the big trend in the NFL this year is play-action passing, and the Saints have been one of the very best in the league at doing this. The fake to Dunbar, and, you know, Hayward slips out into the coverage there. It appears that Broderick Thomas, 51, should have this coverage. but he's nowhere near the big fullback, and the Saints pick up their initial first down of the afternoon.
Gain of 15, first down at the 34.
It's almost like a contest. Which team, which quarterback can be the best play faker?
Well, DeBerg, of course, has long been acknowledged as one of the best ball handlers in the league. Here's the handoff to the short man. It's Hayward, and Craig Hayward surges forward. A gain of 13 yards. Mark Wheeler finally makes the stop.
Boy, and you know Tampa Bay hates to see big number 34 coming straight up the middle against them. 2 years ago, Hayward had his career best day of 155 yards rushing. In fact, that's the last time he went over 100 yards rushing in a game.
You can see he's been relatively unused early in this season, with a total of only 117 yards on 31 carries coming in. A first down and 10 at the 47-yard line. There was a 3 wide receiver set again. Hayward across the 50, down at the 49. Tackle made by Broderick Thomas.
Broderick Thomas could really use to have a big day today, kind of in Sam Weich's doghouse for his actions last week against Detroit. Here he's going to take Hayward after about a 4-yard gain. But one thing that the Saints are forcing the Bucs to do with their personnel so far today is to play with just 2 linebackers and 5 defensive backs.
Second down and 6, and this time both receivers come to the near side. 1 back step, 2 tight ends. Deep handoff to Dunbar, and the number 1 draft choice from Indiana is down to the 47-yard line.
One of the things the Tampa Bay coaches talked about is trying to change up the looks in the secondary, have their defensive backs move around a little bit to try to confuse Hebert. Hebert likes to go to the line of scrimmage, look at the defense, and then use a system called check with me, where he'll give the team 2 plays in a huddle, and then looking at the defense, he'll decide which of those plays is better. And you'll see him quite a bit today take a lot of time off the play clock in making those decisions.
Third down and 4. Opening moments of the ball game. No score thus far out of the shotgun. And the Buccaneers are going to bring 4, but the play is whistled dead.
False start. Offense, number 71 before the snap, 5-yard penalty, repeat third down.
That's Richard Cooper, who will spend most of the day confronting Keith McCants and/or Broderick Thomas. And that'll make it a 3rd and 9.
And Cooper, remember that offensive line that's doing a great job of keeping Hebert standing. Only 8 sacks so far. That's number 2 in the entire league.
Now, those are Miami figures, aren't they?
Yeah, and like Washington did last year, the Redskins had a great job of protecting Rippon, and that got the Redskins all the way to you-know-where.
3rd and 9, no score. Ball back at the 48. And Hebert again out of the shotgun. Here comes a corner blitz. Hebert across the middle, intercepted. Picked off by Broderick Thomas, and he's got Hebert to beat. Broderick Thomas, his first interception of the year, and Dan just said he does need a big game. That's a return of 25.
We talked about how the Buccaneers want to try to confuse Hebert. Vern, you called the corner blitz by Gary Lewis. Well, he was taking the place of Thomas, who drops back into the coverage there, does a nice job of reading the eyes of the quarterback and be in front of the receiver, and then gets a nice return. That's his first career interception, and he gives the Bucs the ball at the 31.
Steve DeBerg is the quarterback for the hobbled Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Play action on first down. Pass to the right for Hall, incomplete. They were counting on Ricky Jackson not blitzing on that play, and Ricky Jackson came storming upfield into the face of Steve DeBerg. It'll be 2nd and 10. Courtney Hawkins at 1 wide receiver. Gary Anderson is in a slot to the left side. Willie Drury, who's the only healthy wide receiver, is wide right. DeBerg pumps, caught, dropped. Wayne Martin, that's his 7th sack of the year, and number 26 on the season for the New Orleans Saints. Steve DeBerg, 38 years of age, 16th season in the league. Yesterday at practice, if you missed the NFL today, he was emulating Red Grange, the galloping ghost. Up front, it's Gruber and Reimers, Mayberry, McCray and Taylor. The tight end is Ron Hall. Cobb and McDowell in the backfield. Drury and Courtney Hawkins are the wide receivers.
I think DeBerg may have played with Red Grange.
3rd and 18. Left side. Courtney Hawkins. They try and strip the ball away from him. Reginald Jones. It'll be 4th down, and they are outside of Ken Willis's field goal range.
And how big is that sack now? You look back on it, they took possession at the 31-yard line, and the sack did exactly that, Vern. It took the Buccaneers out of field goal range.
That will bring on Dan Straczynski and Marcus Dowdell, who 2 weeks ago set a club record with 3 fumble recoveries. Of course, that's the good news.
Yes.
The bad news is he fumbled it 3 times on punt returns. Marcus Dowdell.
Changing his number from 19 to 86 because of the NFL rules as far as receivers' numbers are concerned, but I don't think that that's going to help him any. The Buccaneers know where he is.
Well, certainly not if there's any kind of a trend, because Louis Litz wore number 86 for the Saints. He was waived. Before that, Patrick Newman wore 86. He was waived.
And you may wave bye-bye to this number 86 if he drops the ball on the ground on any punts today.
On the other side of the coin for Tampa Bay, Dan Straczynski has had only 6 punts returned this season for a total of 10 yards. First in the league. Nice and high. Dowdell will let it go. Did they get it?
No. Touchback.
It is a touchback. It comes out to the 20.
But there was one Buck that had a shot at it, but Dowdell did a great job of blocking him and keeping him from getting his hands on it. There's the block by Dowdell. That keeps Gary Lewis from downing it with his feet in the field of play. First down, your chances of success are pretty good. The last 3 weeks, this is fantastic numbers for Hebert, throwing the ball on first down. The other side of the coin is that interception that he threw to Broderick Thomas came on a 3rd down and long situation, something Mora and his staff want to keep away from.
And right now, first down and 10 from the 20 following the touchback. As Gary Lewis jumped up to down the ball, his feet were in the end zone, so it became a touchback. Play fake. Hebert pumps once, lobs it out, caught by Dunbar, and he's cut down at the 27. Pretty good pressure for Bobby Hebert. And Fullington makes the tackle.
Well, we'll watch the secondary. Watch these guys move back and forth. These are the 2 safeties, and by moving, they're giving Hebert a different look at the different coverages. They just go to a strictly a zone coverage here, and Hebert does a nice job of hanging in that pocket, something he does as well as any quarterback in the league. But again, that was a pass on first down, and they pick up about 7 yards.
Second down and 3, and again a 3 receiver package now. Dalton Hilliard comes in. He will see an increasing amount of playing time, we were told by Jim Mora. Dalton Hilliard, the veteran, really playing well now. Here's Hilliard. Goes right, first down, plus. Out to the 37-yard line.
One of the most unique running backs in the league. Real swivel hips. You know that old term they used to give players like Hugh McElhaney. But watch as he just low center of gravity, slides around in there, picks up about 8 yards or so. But Dalton Hilliard is the crunch time running back for the Saints. He can fill in at any position, and he will play more and more as this season goes along.
Well, Vaughn Dunbar has been the starter, the #1 draft choice out of Indiana, but a decreasing amount of production in recent weeks from Dunbar has led the Hilliard decision. First down, here's Dunbar. That's the kind of thing we're talking about.
Now, the other part of that, Vern, is that Dunbar doesn't have the experience, just a first-year player, #1 pick this year, and Hilliard can do it all. He's a smart player. He's played all the different positions. In fact, he's the backup fullback to Craig Hayward. And when they get in a passing situation, he does two things very well. He catches the ball out of the backfield well, but he also can pass protect. And believe me, that's very important. And one of the hardest things for rookies to learn is protecting that old quarterback.
Yes. 2nd and 9, and Hilliard's back in. They go with 3 wide receivers now. 2nd and 9, no score, first quarter. Midway through it, 6:15 to go. Eric Martin in motion. Stunt by the Tampa Bay defense, and Hebert gets rid of it to Eric Martin. There's a flag. We're going to get a face mask penalty against the Buccaneers. And it'll be called for 45, so this will be a first down. 15 or 5, you can see Gary Lane. He says 15. Personal foul. This will be the big one.
And the personal foul is not so much the face mask, but he grabbed him by the back of the helmet. And you cannot touch any part of that helmet in making a tackle.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 54 on the defense, grabbing the back of the helmet, 15 yards, first down.
There you see the grab by Jimmy Williams there, right there, trying to take Martin's helmet off, and perhaps his head as well. But that's a big, big penalty, something that's bothered the Buccaneers all year long. They had 9 penalties last week against Detroit, and they are the most penalized team in the NFC.
5:54 remaining in the first quarter, and a first down at the 37-yard line now. Backs in the eye this time. Play fake, Hebert deep in the middle. Quinn Early overthrown and incomplete. Milton Mack, the former New Orleans Saint, was the defender. Rams are playing Atlanta. Let's go back to Greg and see what's going on.
Oh, Vern, they're playing him, but they're not playing them very well in Atlanta. Chris Miller goes up top 38 yards on the money to Michael Haynes, and it's a 14-0 Falcon lead in the first quarter, Vern.
My goodness, that's a quick one.
They can really put it up in a hurry. Miller has a ton of touchdown passes this year. That was a beautiful throw there.
They can also give it up in a hurry, as San Francisco can tell you. 2nd down and 10. No score. 5:36 to go first quarter. Hilliard in trouble, spins, belted high and down at the 36-yard line. Detroit with an early lead over the Green Bay Packers at the Silverdome, and Miami and the Jets scoreless.
One thing the Saints have going for them today is they've reactivated John Tice, and that gives Mora now 3 tight ends that he feels very comfortable running, and also gives them an entirely different offense. We should see Tice become very involved once the Saints get in the red area, a part of the field where they've had a lot of trouble scoring this year.
They'll go with 4 wide receivers now on 3rd and 10. 3 to the left. Torrance Small is wide right. 3rd and 10 from the 37. No blitz. Hebert down the middle. Incomplete. Incidental contact. Quinn Early, the intended receiver. And Darryl Pollard, the one-time 49er, was the defender.
This is one of those, you make the call, Vern. You called it incidental. The ball appeared to be out of the reach of either Pollard or Early, and that's a good no call by the officials there. They have to determine whether the receiver could catch the ball if there was no contact at all. That time it appeared Early didn't have a chance.
Here is the all-time record holder in the National Football League for field goals in excess of 50 yards. His record is 60. This one will be 54. Earlier this season, he kicked his 20th of 50-plus. Fake. Barnhart. Barnhart runs. He's got the first down. And there's a flag. Personal foul, Tampa. Saw him work on it yesterday in practice, but he was throwing it to Hayward then.
Late hit out of bounds, number 50, 15 yards from the dead ball spot. First down.
Yeah, but it's a run-pass option, and once Barnhart gets to the outside, there's just nobody there. Anderson, being the non-combatant that he is, gets out of the way, and here's the late hit by E.J. Jr., well out of bounds, and a costly penalty again against Tampa Bay. But what a great time to call the fake. Special teams coach Joe Marciano may have a few more things up his sleeve this afternoon.
You know, it's a subtle thing, Dan, but one reason you can sell that so easily is because of the presence of Morton Anderson back there.
And he's very capable of hitting from 54 yards, and everybody wearing orange today thought that's exactly what he was going to attempt.
John Tyson is the third tight end now. And a first down inside the 15 after the penalty. Dunbar to the 10. As we near the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. Scoreless game thus far. New Orleans 5-2. Buccaneers off to a 3-1 start. Won a big road game up in Detroit, 27-24, to end a long road losing streak. Then came home and fell apart against Indianapolis. On the road in Chicago, and then lost. They were humiliated last week by the Detroit Lions in Tampa. Sellout crowd at the Dome. 2nd and 7, 3 wide receivers in, no score. Hilliard spins right, Broderick Thomas from behind. Marty Carter is also a part of it, number 23.
You get the feeling that the Saints are just beating their heads against the wall when they get down on this part of the field. Only 2 rushing touchdowns, and here we are. This is the 8th game of the year. But you know one thing, that Hilliard's going to give you everything he's got. Tough guy to bring down. Tough guy to see. Where is he? I can't even see him in this picture. There he is. Thomas misses him there. And now he comes back and makes the tackle. Good second effort there by Broderick Thomas.
It'll be 3rd and 5. This will be the 11th play of the drive. And out of the shotgun with 4 wide receivers in the lineup, Bobby Hebert operates. Hilgenberg snaps it back. Hebert across the middle. Caught. Touchdown! Dalton Hilliard. Second touchdown catch of 1992.
One of the most popular players on this team, and perhaps the most valuable player on this offense. Dalton Hilliard caught the ball at about the 3-yard line and just pulled Jimmy Williams into the end zone.
Now Morton Anderson for the extra point. Tommy Barnhart dropped a snap 2 weeks ago in Phoenix, and that cost the Saints an extra point, but it did not affect the personal streak that Anderson has going.
And the key play on the drive was the fake field goal by Tommy Barnhart on the run, and then the great effort to get in the end zone by Dalton Hilliard.
The National Football League is sponsored by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, long-lasting trucks on the road. HP LaserJet printers. If it isn't a LaserJet, it's only a laser printer. And by Coors Cutter non-alcoholic brew.
A quarterback's dream is to have a running back isolated on a linebacker. The little move to the outside by Hilliard gives him just enough room. Good pass protection, good lane to throw through, and then the extra effort to get in the end zone. That's just perfect execution by the Saints.
Morton Anderson kicked it low, and it'll go through the end zone, come out to the 20 after the touchback. And we've got a little bit of a fracas going on at the 25, but it's quickly broken up. Nothing serious. Time has been called, 7-0 Saints. 16 years ago, Steve DeBerg was a quarterback for the 49ers. He was then traded to Denver, where a guy named Elway came along. He found a good career, though, in Tampa Bay, but then they drafted Vinny Testaverde. So Steve took his arm to Kansas City, where he played for 3 years before being replaced by Dave Craig. Picked up this year as a Plan B acquisition by the Buccaneers. And he's got a terrific attitude for the game.
And the important thing is that he has played 16 years. That means he's played good enough to be in this league for 16 years. That's a heck of an accomplishment.
Actually started his career as a 10th round draft choice of the Dallas Cowboys. Reggie Cobb, first running effort, nothing. And they simply have to be able to run the ball to have any hope today.
Yeah, they have 4 of their 5 wide receivers are hurt, and hurt to the point where they may not be able to play. Dossey's got a bad ankle. Carrier's got a bad knee. Culpepper hurt his ankle the other day. So Willie Drury and Courtney Hawkins are the 2 healthy guys, and Hawkins even has a bad foot.
Hawkins comes wide to the right side. He wears number 85. See him working against Troy Cook. Reggie Cobb spilled after a gain of a half yard. It'll be 3rd and 9.
The funny things in talking to DeBerg, and there are a lot of funny things when you talk to Steve. He says when he looked at the fact that he was going to be the quarterback this week, he said, "Oh, great, thanks a lot, Coach. This is one of the best defenses in the league. We're playing at their park in a dome, and I've got no wide receiver. This is one I was pointing for when I looked at the schedule. You can believe me."
3rd and 9. Saints already have 1 sack today. 5-man rush. DeBerg complete to the 27. It'll be 4th down. And the Buccaneers will have to give up the ball. Ron Hall makes the catch. Saints are 3-0 in New Orleans. They've only allowed 1 run of 10 or more yards, only 2 passes in excess of 25 yards, and only 12.7 points per game, or points allowed per game. Marcus Dowdell is back.
Yeah, they've won all 3 games.
Yes.
Let's not forget that. To bring them to 5-2 after a 2-2 start.
Ed Brady will snap the ball back for the Buccaneers. Dowdell waits at the 29. This one could be returned. It will be. Dowdell, whoops, he bobbled it again. And he returns it 6 yards. But that nearly doubles the amount of yards that Tampa Bay had yielded on punt returns coming into the ball game. Saints ball. Up on the punt return, got hit by a couple of players, but
yeah, right there. Watch as he gets about 3 guys taking him to the turf, and he bangs his head on this hard artificial surface, and he's not wearing a helmet.
Got some medical attention. They said, what city? He mentioned the French Quarter, and they said, stay on. 1st and 10. Bobby Hebert, 3 of 4, throwing the ball on 1st down in the last drive. That led to the touchdown. And he'll throw here. Deep right side. Hobie Brenner, who doesn't catch many. Jimmy Williams, the defender. Brenner, who had only 5 catches coming into the ball game for the season.
That's a wonderful play by Williams, though, showing what he's made of. You know, he just got beat for the touchdown by Hilliard. The very next play, the Saints come back, test him again, this time with the tight end, and Williams is up to it. Gets congratulations from Milton Mack.
And as we see every week now, looks up on the big scoreboard in the sky to watch himself on the replay. 2nd down and 10.
Why not?
Final play, 1st quarter, 7-0. New Orleans leads. Blitz. Hey there. That's a completed pass for a loss all the way back to the 25. A loss of 10. That's the end of the 1st quarter with our score. The New Orleans Saints 7 and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 7. 22 under Sam Weiss. They now trail Minnesota and Chicago. Those 2 teams, of course, play tomorrow night. And Sam said, relative to this game, we just want to try and shorten the game, get into the 4th quarter with a chance to be competitive, a chance to win it in the 4th.
And he's going to need his defense to score some points today.
Now they are
up offense they have.
So limited offensively because of the injuries to the wide receivers. They go now with 6 defensive backs. They rush 3 and drop 8. And across the middle, Torrance Small makes the grab, first down, all the way out to the 42-yard line. That is a gain of 22.
And that's really inexcusable. The thing that's hurt the Buccaneers all year long has been what the coaches like to call the vertical passing game. In other words, it's throwing the bomb down the middle. That was just a post route right down the middle by Small. And again, it's a completion against the Buccaneers secondary, and that's really inexcusable with gaining a first down with that many yards to go.
Lloyd Peters, the defensive coordinator of the Buccaneers. Here's a handoff to Dunbar. And he comes off tackle to the right, gets to the 50, a gain of a couple. Tackle is made by Santana Dotson, whose mother, Caroline, is watching him play for the first time as a pro. Santana, whose father, Alphonse Dotson, played with the Chiefs. Mom and Dad are divorced, and his mother lives here in New Orleans. He was born here, as a matter of fact.
And a little of the same medicine right back at you. The Saints go with the no-huddle offense against Tampa Bay here.
And it's a second down and 7. Hebert, intercepted by Broderick Thomas. His second of the game. And again, it's Hebert to beat. Now Richard Cooper. Thomas, touchdown.
Well, if there's anything that will get you out of a coach's doghouse, I'm sure that Broderick is out of it now. His second career interception, and this one he takes all the way back for a very important touchdown for the Buccaneers. It's a deflected pass off the tight end's hands, and it's John Tice, just activated this week. Should have made the grab, but Thomas takes it 56 yards down the sideline to tie the game up.
He cut to his left to get by Bobby Hebert, got some help, went over Richard Cooper, and now Ken Willis, with the extra point, has tied it up. Well, Dan said the Buccaneers were going to need some points from their defense. They were listening. 2 tackles. In tying up this game, he's now got his second interception.
And the one thing, these guys have to do something that's almost impossible now. They have to hurry up and rest. He makes the touchdown, he runs 56 yards with it, then he sprints over to the sidelines and gets on the oxygen because they got to go right back out and play defense now.
Ken Willis will kick it off. McAfee and Hilliard are the deep men. This will be McAfee, the number 3 running back. Ironically enough, we talked about the Tampa Bay punt defense, punt return defense. They are dead last in the league in kickoff return defense. So file that one in the back of your memory bank.
And one of the funny things that coaches sometimes say is some of those numbers are overinflated. That's a little redundant, I know, but in this case I think it fits because the Buccaneers say, well, we've had 3 long returns against us, but really we're not as bad as the numbers say. Well, they've only played 7 games. Bill Gray got him twice for 89-yarders.
First half of the doubleheader on CBS. And coming up next, Philadelphia at Dallas, a rematch between those 2 NFC Eastern Division rivals. Philadelphia handily won the first game, but this one's at Texas Stadium. First and 10 now, 7-7 ball game, 13:21 to go first half. Martin in motion. Bring it back.
Too much time. Hebert took too much time to get the play off after a timeout. But now the officials are pointing at one clock saying 6 seconds, the one that Hebert was looking at. The one the official was looking at said 0.
There is no foul in the play. The play clocks were out of sync. The call was made off of this one. We will replay the down, first down.
Well, you know, yesterday was Halloween.
Boy, no kidding.
That shouldn't happen in your own home park, though.
Good catch, because the one that Hebert was looking at said 6 seconds. And in the opposite end zone, zip. And you made an interesting point that these clocks are ideally suited for quarterbacks to see.
They're right between the goalposts in the end zone. The quarterback has the best look at these clocks as any stadium in the league. There they are. How can you miss that? The official, though, has got his back to this one. He's looking at the one at the other end that said 0. That's a perfect place for the play clock, and something the league should do is uniformly put them in the same area.
After the no play, it's first down and 10. Eric Martin starts in motion. Greg Hayward out to the 26-yard line.
Good blocking here by Hobie Brenner, the tight end on the right side. Watch as he comes down and just pushes Williams to the outside. A little bit of holding, but that's holding that's legal. It's within the framework of the defender's body.
3 wide receiver set now for the New Orleans Saints on second down and 5. Roderick Thomas and Jimmy Williams are the 2 linebackers, and a nickel defense. Gary Lewis has come in as the fifth. They test in the middle. Hayward out to the 31. That should be enough for the first down.
Getting back to that interception that Hebert threw that bounced off of John Tice's hand. You really got a feel for Tice. He comes off the injured reserve list. His first ball he's thrown after coming off that right shoulder injury. It's a perfect pass. Bounced right off his hands, and the linebacker not only intercepts it, he takes it all the way in for a score. Weird things can happen in this town around this time of year.
There were some unusual-looking people on the streets of New Orleans last night, rather.
As if this town needs an excuse to party. They went out and partied pretty good last night on Halloween.
There's the stretch, just short. It is not a first down.
I think I might give the ball right back to Hayward. Third down and an inch. The Buccaneers have not been able to stop him. And right between the tackles, it appears, even between the guards, Kennard and Dombrowski, behind Hilgenberg, Hayward picking up a lot of yards.
Made about a foot. 3 tight ends. Quarterback keeper. And that'll be enough for a first down. Early second quarter from New Orleans, Louisiana. Vern Lundquist and Dan Fouts. A sellout crowd. The game sold out just before the deadline on Thursday to allow the blackout to be lifted. A 5-2 New Orleans team that goes on the road for the next 2 weeks. They are chasing the San Francisco 49ers. And how ironic are the stats in this game? That is the 10th New Orleans first down. The Buccaneers do not have one, and yet we're tied 7-7. 2 running backs this time, Hilliard and Hayward. First down and 10 from the 32. Play fake. And the pass is incomplete. Wheeler and McCants were coming at Hebert.
They're doing a good job of pressuring Hebert. That time he had his receiver, but he didn't have enough time. And by enough time, that's only maybe a split second. But the pressure of Wheeler and McCants there forced Hebert to get rid of it early.
Ray Seals, Mark Wheeler, Santana Dotson, and Keith McCants, the down lineman. Now E.J. Jr. comes back into the lineup on second down and 10. So the Buccaneers do have 3 linebackers in the defensive alignment. Hayward out to the 36-yard line where it'll be third down.
Saints continue to test the middle of these defensive line for the Bucs. Got a couple of rookies in there, and Dotson and Wheeler. 77 here, and McCants drops down to number 52 right next to him. So they're just trying to get those big offensive linemen. Dombrowski, a 300-pounder, Cooper, a 290, and push these youngsters out of the way. But these 2 guys, Dotson and Wheeler, are playing like veterans so far this year.
Third and 6, 4 wide receiver set for the Saints and the shotgun. Hebert deep right side for Torrance Small. Diving grab. What a catch by the rookie. Oh, that was pretty. That was really nice. 33-yard gain.
Yeah, it's a well-thrown ball, but Vern, it's the end of it, as you said, that it's absolutely beautiful. 6'3", he lays out, makes the fingertip grab, hangs on when he hits the ground, and sets up the team at the 30-yard line. Good job of pass protection by Chris Port here now, working on Keith McCann. That's the key to any passing game, is good pass protection, and what an effort on the end of it.
First down, play action, the safety's bit. There's Eric Martin, incomplete. Wow, Darrell Fullington came roaring up in run support that time, and then they went deep, but the pass is incomplete. Ricky Reynolds was defending.
Bobby can't believe it. He's rolling his eyes around. Threw his second great pass in a row, the first one to Small. This one was right on the fingertips of Eric Martin, but in a little bit more of that voodoo stuff going on. How many times you see Martin drop this one? Perfectly lobbed pass right in his hand, and he just flat drops it.
3 receivers set this time on the 8th play of this current drive. Here's a handoff to Hilliard. Nice tackle by Ray Seals. A loss of 4. 7-7 ball game with 9:15 to go first half. If you just joined us, the Saints had a long first quarter drive, the highlight of which was a 4th down run by the punter Tommy Barnhart. He was on as a holder for a potential field goal. They got a touchdown pass to Dalton Hilliard. And then Broderick Thomas tied it up with a 56-yard pass interception.
I love that time of possession thing. The scoreboard says 7-7.
Yes. 3rd and 14. Dowdell is in as the 4th wide receiver this time. 4-man rush. Hebert deep in the middle. Man open. Touchdown. Quinn Early. A flag is down in the offensive backfield.
They're going to call holding against the Saints. This one will come back. The illegal use of the hands. The Bucs brought Gary Lewis on the blitz. And this one's not going to count. Boy, the Saints are self-destructing, aren't they?
Illegal use of the hands to the face, number 60 on the offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
Derek Kennard, the right guard.
Now, easy to find Big Derek. Here he is right here. We follow him. We'll see. He'll put that right hand in the face of Mark Wheeler, bends Wheeler's head back, and every official is going to call that. But this is a beautiful throw. Nice route by Early. All for nothing.
3rd and 24. That wipes out a 35-yard touchdown. 4-man rush again. Hebert screen pass. Dalton Hilliard. They'll try and get as much as possible to set up Morton Anderson. He almost got the first down. On 3rd and 24, he gets 23. And the crowd, of course, wants to see Hayward or Hilliard running the ball.
Now this is a great call by Carl Smith, the offensive coordinator for the Saints. It's the middle screen, and really what you have now is just a kickoff return by Hilliard in the open field, breaking tackles, stretching out, and almost coming up with a first down. And of course, Moore is going to disappoint this crowd, not go for it on 4th and 1. He's going to send in Morton Anderson for what we would think would be another field goal.
39 yards if he kicks it. Barnhart already has a first down running out of this formation. Anderson has hit his last 5 in a row. And he misses. Whoa! They are shooting themselves in the feet. Despite the fact that the Buccaneers have 1 yard rushing, 10 yards passing, and no first down. DeBerg, Willie Drury, they pick up about 3 on that play.
And the thing that Weiss has told his team is that we just want to shorten this game down to maybe a 15-minute game, that fourth quarter. Let's stay close. Let's fight to scrape whatever we have to do, and let's get one drive at the end of the game where we can win it. So far, it's working out pretty good, but he has to start getting a little bit more production out of his offense.
2nd down and 7. Here comes Swilling. Good job on him. And that pass is complete to Courtney Hawkins. That may be enough for the first Tampa Bay first down. Atlanta leading 17-0 in the second quarter.
We'll see a lot of this today with DeBerg huddling the team up instead of going with the no-huddle offense. Steve likes to consider himself the communicator, and he wants to make sure that everybody's on the right page, especially when you have a couple of receivers that haven't played a whole lot. Very important to communicate in a organized huddle.
Reggie Cobb runs into Wayne Martin.
It gives him an opportunity to iron some things out and to make sure that the receivers know exactly what's going on, but they also have the capability to get to a hurry up if they feel that the Saints are trying to match up with their defensive substitution.
This is their version of a drive-by huddle, right? Or
this is what Sam likes to call it. Players just come to the quarterback, and he very casually will tell them in code words what the play is.
2nd down and 9. Play fake, right side, caught by Ron Hall. Gene Atkins makes the tackle. Almost immediately, it'll be 3rd down coming up.
Very unusual to have the head coach to also be your offensive coordinator and the guy that signals the plays into the quarterback. But Sam is a former quarterback. His quarterback coach is Kirk Stonert, another former quarterback. And with DeBerg's experience, this is what you might call a quarterback-oriented offense.
3rd and 5, 7-7 ball game, 5 minutes to go first half. Blitz, DeBerg, tipped, dropped. Toy Cook, number 41, was doing the defensive job.
We've seen a couple of drop balls. This is the protection here by Gruber and Bruce Reimers. You see them holding hands, and as soon as Reimers sees the ball snap, then Gruber can get his focus right on Pat Swilling. And again, this innovation by the Bucs works perfectly. We saw it earlier in the year against Detroit, something that offensive line coach Bob Wiley came up with. New innovation in the league, and it works. Those are the good kind of innovations to have.
Marcus Dowdell back to return the punt of Dan Struzinski. He has 1 return for 6 yards so far today, and he'll be able to bring this one back, but not much. Boy, they stacked him up, and the last guy down, Ed Brady was the initial man, and then Joe King finished the job. 7-7 ball game, 4:46 to go in the first half. Weiss has insisted to us again yesterday, it's no big deal. I think Finney might disagree with him. He thinks it's a big deal.
That's the 3rd time in his career he has been replaced. Always seems to land on his feet, though.
Here's Dunbar sweeping to the outside, and he is knocked out of bounds at the 31-yard line. That's a gain of 6 yards. Now we talked with Paul Boudreau, the offensive line coach of the Saints yesterday, said, who on your group is playing the best? And here's the man he picked out, Jim Dombrowski, one-time number 1 draft choice in Virginia.
Interesting. He told us earlier in the year that the reason that he's playing well is it's all in the footwork. And when he grew up, he was a hockey player in upstate New York, and he felt that ability to skate, stop, and start has helped him as an offensive lineman. Had to be the biggest hockey player ever.
2nd and 5, 7-7 game, 4:15 to go, first half. Hebert going deep, double coverage. Quinn Early tipped away. Nice play by the former New Orleans Saints, Milton Mack. He was a Plan B acquisition by Tampa Bay, a one-time 5th-round draft choice of the Saints.
Again, the Saints are going to test the secondary, the Bucs deep. But when you've played with the team and you come back and you're playing in the old ballpark and everything, it just gives you that extra added motivation. You get a little bit more fired up. And in talking to Milton yesterday, he was very determined to have a big day today against his former team.
Well, as a matter of fact, Sam Weiss had him give the scouting report on Bobby Hebert for the entire defensive team earlier this week. Out of the shotgun, it's 3rd and 5. Left side, caught. Torrance, no, now they say no. He did not have his feet down. And the back judge concurs, it's easy for me to say, concurs with the line judge.
Not only didn't he have his feet down, he didn't have the ball in his hands. Here's the attempted catch. Good effort again by Small at 6'3". He comes down, and I believe that should have been a catch right there. The ground cannot cause a fumble, but it apparently can cause an incompletion.
Tommy Barnhart with a 44.7 average leads the National Football Conference. Willie Drury waits for it near the 27. First punt of the day now for Tommy Barnhart. That's a dandy. Good downfield coverage. Whoa! Terrific job by Tyrone Leggett. A 49-yard punt, -1 on the return. And Leggett, number 43, excellent job getting downfield. But only for 25 yards. That's McDowell out of the backfield. DeBerg is hit as he lets it go. Jim Wilkes, number 94, right in his face. Big Goff is also in, number 91.
Well, it's good pressure by Wilkes right up the middle, but DeBerg is real lucky this ball isn't intercepted. His first man isn't there. He should have just dumped it right now, but you see DeBerg's concern. He knew that that was a dangerous pass. He wanted to know the end result of that one. Lucky it wasn't picked off.
2nd down and 10. 7-7 game, 3:45 to go. First half. Here comes the blitz. Toy Cook. -10, first sack of the season.
Here he is, number 41, and he just comes clean. There's no offensive lineman to come out or no back. You see the play action, kind of a token fake there, and the quarterback gets drilled right in the back.
That's the first sack this year for Toy Cook. 2nd sack of the ball game, and now 3rd and 20. They hand it off to McDowell, and he's out near the 14-yard line. 8th-round draft choice from Texas Tech. It was Reggie Cobb, I beg your pardon. Not McDowell. There's Reggie Cobb. Marcus Dowdell is on to return the punt of Dan Straczynski, who has to kick this one from the goal line.
The word we get on Leggett from the Saints bench is that he strained his hamstring, and he might have done it before the tackle because that may have been the reason he fell in the first place, trying to make the stop on Drury.
2:34 to go before halftime, and Straczynski waits for the snap from Ed Brady. Fair catch. Dowdell at the 50. A 36-yard punt. Nothing on the return. Well, we were talking about Jim Dombrowski playing so well this season. He's from Amherst, New York, and started out as a hockey player. A big one, even at 10.
Yeah, that's the key here. This guy's 10 years old, and he's almost as big as the coach. Good style there, though, huh? A little shaved ice for you.
And there was no question which one was Dombrowski when he was a senior in high school.
And he didn't play goaltender either.
He said, when did you get big? He said, well, when I got to Virginia.
I think he got big real early.
Play fake. Hilliard runs into Daryl Fullington. And he's down at the 46. Saints have all 3 timeouts left, but they'll let this one go to the 2-minute warning and then get the clock stoppage. 7-7 ball game. Bobby Hebert threw to Dalton Hilliard for the Saint touchdown, but Broderick Thomas countered with a 56-yard pass interception return.
Yeah, it's going to be 7-7 score right now. The other thing on this miscues, you see the 2 interceptions. They missed 1 field goal. They had 1 TD called back because of holding, and Eric Martin dropped the potential touchdown pass, and their 1 interception went all the way the other way for Tampa Bay, Broderick Thomas.
Now they're looking at a 2nd down and 6, 7-7 game with 2 minutes to go before the first half. 2nd and 6 from the Tampa Bay 47-yard line. Hebert will run, and he's got a lot of room. First down at the 28.
Well, watch this offensive line give Hebert a nice pocket, and then he'll break free. And you look at the linebackers in the secondary, they're real deep. And this just opens up for Hebert. Picks up a nice 18-yard gain and decides to go head first and take a lick from Marty Carter.
Saints have all 3 timeouts if they need them. First down and 10 after the 18-yard gain. 1:15 to go before halftime. 7-7 ball game. Wesley Carroll starts in motion. 4-man rush by the Buccaneers. Hilliard touched by Marty Carter. And then Jimmy Williams makes the tackle at the 20. And Bobby Hebert says we'll use 1 of the 3 timeouts.
Real veteran heads-up play by Hilliard, knowing that he has all those timeouts, can make a move and get extra yardage. You'll often see a younger running back, perhaps a rookie, just take that catch and step out of bounds.
Ball is at the 20. Saints have 2 timeouts left. 20-yard line. Early and Carroll break off to the left side. Eric Martin is in tight to the right. Dalton Hilliard, the running back. Hebert. Twin early. First down and goal from the 9-yard line. Gary Lewis makes the tackle on early, who came here from San Diego.
Real nice little play-action pass for the Saints. Hebert just on the little sprint to the outside, and now Early, who had faked a down and in route, reverses out to the outside, gets the ball down inside the 10-yard line, gets out of bounds, preserving the 2 timeouts.
And leaving New Orleans with 54 seconds remaining to negotiate the 9 yards. Hayward is in. Early and Carroll both to the right, Martin off to the left. Now the motion is Twin Early. They hand it off to Craig Hayward. Bounces a couple of times, but is stopped and dropped with a loss of 1 at the 10 timeout called by the Saints with 47 seconds remaining.
You talked about him bouncing around, Vern, and this is a lot of man to bounce, too. This is Mr. Ironhead Hayward. Hits right up in the middle here. There's Wheeler. Bounces off of him, then to the outside, but just too many orange pants out there. Kind of appropriate. They were playing this game the day after Halloween. One team wears black, the other orange.
Coming up on the NFL Today halftime report, Greg and Terry will have all the scores and highlights from today's action. Plus a look at Philadelphia's 7-play goal line stand against Phoenix last Sunday. It was a terrific goal line stand. However,
I had a little problem with the play selection myself, Bert. I think that after maybe the 4th time you don't get in from 1 yard, maybe you try something else, maybe a forward pass, perhaps.
I think Joe Bugle and the Cardinals give new meaning to the word stubborn. It was not to detract from what Philadelphia accomplished. It was something but wow. Second down and goal from the 10. 7-7 ball game. And Tampa Bay has called timeout. Kind of unusual since Tampa Bay and New Orleans are not in the same division that circumstances have dictated they play almost every year. They played 14 out of the last 16 years. Most of those games here where the Buccaneers have not done well.
Yeah, a lot of loss up there, all of them. It's about 7 in a row as I count, Vern. But you know, Weiss is aware of this. He's aware that before they beat Detroit, they lost 15 in a row on the road. Now they've lost 16 of their last 17 on the road. That may be one of the reasons he changed quarterback, going to DeBerg. He wants to send a message to his team that I'm willing to do anything it takes to get us to be a winning program.
Well, despite what you just saw, it's 7-7. The Saints, however, are threatening with a second and goal from the 10. Early is the motion man. Hebert into the flat for Eric Martin, but he is knocked out of bounds at the 5 with 42 seconds to go, so it'll be third and goal from the 5.
Funny how things work. Eric Martin drops an easy one, and this one he'll make with one hand, but it's zone defense by the Buccaneers, so after this great catch, there's just no place for Martin to go. You see the help there of Milton Mack coming up, forcing Eric Martin to go out of bounds. Good play selection on defense by Floyd Peters, going to the zone defense on this very abbreviated field.
Carroll and Small go left. Martin and Early come right. Out of the shotgun, Dalton Hilliard to side-by-side Bobby Hebert. Three-man rush, they drop 8. Hebert, nobody open. Got him and dropped him. They just dropped those 8 guys in covered areas. And Mark Wheeler gets his 3rd sack of the season.
Well, Hebert did 2 things very well that time. Number one, he didn't force the ball. He took the sack, which you might think would be a negative thing to do. But what he does is he still has the field goal to fall back on. He held on to the ball after the hit, and now there appears to be some question as to the Saints running the clock all the way down and then bringing the field goal team out, as they'll do right now. But Hebert not forcing the ball down there could be a big play.
Bobby Hebert and Jim Mora decide to let the clock run down to 10 seconds remaining.
Sometimes the coaches will talk to the quarterback and say, there are just some times when you got to peel that football and eat it, and that's what Hebert did that time.
This may be incidental, but why 10? Why not drop it down to 4 seconds, and then if you kick off, no time for the Buccaneers to do anything?
Now that's an incidental question that I have absolutely no incidental answer for.
You're my Department of Incidental Information. Periodically.
I thought I was in charge of trivia.
Maybe a matter of absolutely no consequence, but
what I think it is it's a screw-up by the guy that called the timeout.
I was trying to get you to say that. And now the Buccaneers call timeout. That's their second.
This is a good play by Weiss and team. You know, it's putting the kicker on ice. The last time Anderson was out here, he just barely missed. The time before that from 54 yards, where Morton, in his heart, wanted to give it a shot. The Saints went for the fake field goal. They were successful on it, but even the great veterans, such as a guy like Anderson, they have these mind games, and if you can get them to be thinking about something else other than kicking that ball, as Weiss is doing right now with the use of this timeout, you never know.
Anderson has missed from 39 in this game. He had a previous miss this season from 37. This will be from 31 to break the tie just before halftime. It's a 10-7 game. as Morton Anderson breaks the tie with a 31-yard field goal. Then that leaves 6 seconds remaining in the half.
And he's still upset about the fact that he missed the one before. This snap from Hilgenberg is really a bullet to Barnhart. In fact, 2 weeks ago against Phoenix, Barnhart dropped a perfect strike like this, but this ball really comes back in a hurry. Nice spin of the ball to get the laces away from the foot of the kicker, and a headbutt as 3 points go up on the board.
There's Joel Hilgenberg, whose brother Jay is now a member of the Cleveland Browns. Joel, who is a part-time pilot, spends a lot of time flying his plane.
That's a pretty good football family with a pretty good football name, Hilgenberg. You know, you got a name like that. Number one, you got to play football, and number two, you got to play offensive line.
Well, their uncle Wally Hilgenberg was a longtime member of the Minnesota Vikings football team.
He was misguided, though. He played linebacker. And a lot of players in the NFL back then felt that Wally was quite misguided. He was probably one of the most hated players in all of football. Every week, Wally would be right in the middle of a new what do you call those, skirmishes?
Skirmish.
Fracases.
Anderson is one of the deep men with Courtney Hawkins. 6 seconds to go before halftime. Squib kick. Taken by Al Chamley. Well, they've got time for an alley-oop with 2 seconds remaining.
If I were Sam Weiss, I'd put Vinny Testaverde in to throw this one ball, because Vinny could probably throw it far enough to get it all the way down to the end zone. DeBerg, you know, he's been around a long time, doesn't have that arm strength. They may not even go for it. May be real happy just to be down 3 points when you consider the production of their offense.
Right. 8 yards rushing by Reggie Cobb. A total of 15 yards of offense. 8 on the ground, 7 passing in the first half. And yet they're only down by 3. DeBerg will heave it deep left side. And that'll do it for the first half. A 31-yard field goal by Morton Anderson. The difference in the score right now, that's the end of the first half. With our score, New Orleans 10, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
We have come the fourth quarter. This defense that has come up with the only points so far, they're just going to be flat worn out.
Well, it has been Tampa Bay's ability to hang in there, but also the Saints have not helped their cause. 2 interceptions, both by Broderick Thomas.
And this one, he has a nice return. He only has one man to beat. That's Hebert. Hebert's going to make this tackle. But on the second one, Hebert throws a perfect pass to John Tice on the crossing route. Ball hits him in both hands. It bounces up in the air. And then Thomas makes the grab, and it's 56 yards. That's a heck of a one-handed grab. And he picks up some blocking down inside the 10. But you knew that he was going to be very determined to get it in the end zone. And these are the Bucs' only points of the afternoon.
Well, that made it a 10-7 game. And now Tampa Bay is about to get the ball as we begin the third quarter. Gary Anderson, Courtney Hawkins are the deep man. This will be Hawkins at the goal line. Oh, spear! Joel Smengi. Just like another walk in the park. He casually gets up and trots to the sidelines. What an open field tackle.
Smengi smacked him, didn't he? A little bit of hesitation after the catch by Hawkins, and he pays for it. Number 99 there with the big hit at about the 13-yard line.
And again, the Buccaneers find themselves deep in their own end of the field. First down and 10. Limited by injuries to their wide receivers. And Reggie Cobb is unable to get anything going at the running back spot. How does it stack up statistically at the half? 12 first downs to 1. I mean, it's just overwhelming what New Orleans has done on the statistical sheet.
The key may be right here, though, Vern. We talked about those 2 interceptions, a couple of other missed opportunities. Anderson missed a field goal from 39. and Eric Martin dropped what appeared to be a sure easy catch inside the 5-yard line. So the Saints are helping the Bucs out.
Second down, 11, 5-man rush. Flag is down. That's a wounded duck, as DeBerg was hit about the time he let the ball go.
When you have a great pass rusher like Swilling.
Offside, defense, number 73, 5-yard penalty.
It takes more than one man to pick him up. Good teamwork in the middle there by Mayberry and Gruber as they take care of Pat Swilling. But one of the Saints was offside, Frank Warren, so that's a key mistake by the Saints on that one.
Second down and 6. 10-7. Saints lead. Cobb was lined up wide to the left. DeBerg, that's a fumble. Paul Gruber, no, it is an incomplete pass. He was in the process of throwing the ball, says referee Gary Lane. Paul Gruber fell on it just in case. It was Frank Warren who made the hit.
It's a good way to come back from a penalty is to make a big play on the very next play. There you see Warren, 73, appeared to deflect that ball. Good call by Gary Lane, the official, though, calling that an incomplete pass.
3rd and 6. And the Buccaneers, in addition to hoping for their second first down, their first conversion of the ball game. 3rd and 6. Blitz. DeBerg. Intercepted by Vince Buck. Just activated off the injured reserve list. A serious head injury against the 49ers last year for Vince Buck. He overcame that, then had a knee injury in the first game of the season on IR, just released.
Well, against the 4-man rush, just too many men in the secondary. DeBerg tried to force it into Ron Hall, just no way. And what a great way to come back off that injured list with a interception. Contrasting the way John Tice came off the injury list with a deflection off his hands for Broderick Thomas's interception.
A return of 17, a first down now for the Saints at the 18-yard line. Hilliard gained 1. Well, we've talked a lot about the injuries to the wide receivers for the Buccaneers, but Calvin Tiggle, their regular middle linebacker, is on the injured list, and E.J. Jr. was signed earlier this week.
This is almost 3 years since his last NFL start, but the key for E.J. is that he has familiarity with this defensive system. He played for Floyd Peters way back in St. Louis, and he played for him for 4 years.
He played 3 games here as a member of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Sugar Bowl games. They won all 3. Hilliard. Touchdown. Serious knee injury in 1990. He's come back from that. That is only the 3rd rushing touchdown for the Saints in 1992. And the first for Dalton Hilliard this season. High snap. Barnhart, good job to get it down. Extra point is up and good. And Morton Anderson says to Tommy Barnhart, thanks for that. And they all appreciate the effort of Dalton Hilliard.
He blocked by Hayward, but this is sad, to coin a phrase. All these missed tackles. This guy isn't this big or strong, but he is in the end zone.
And the first name is Dalton. I remember Ronnie Lott was in his prime saying of Dalton Hilliard, he's the toughest running back to bring down I faced ever. And he was tough for a whole bunch of Buccaneers that time. Touchback.
That's a pretty good compliment when you talk about one of the greatest hitters of all time on defense. And Dalton Hilliard, poor tackling, but he got it in the end zone after taking a few hits. But this is just not going to hold up. 3 plays and punt, and now they go 3 plays and an interception on their last, but they're backed up for 5 of these 6 possessions.
It might be germane to talk a little bit about the quarterback situation. Steve DeBerg has not had all that great a success today, 5 of 11. We asked Sam White yesterday in our meeting, under what circumstances other than injury would you put Vinny Testaverde in this ball game? And he said, I don't think I will. Flag is down. Here's DeBerg, deep right side. Almost picked off by Troy Cook, and he was battling Gene Atkins. Now, Sam Weiss did say it's something I've got to feel. He said, I'm not going to say that Testaverde will not get in the game.
Illegal formation against Tampa Bay, and again they're going to start off deep in their own end on a possession. But the thing about Weiss, he's really treading on some thin ice here as far as changing quarterbacks and not being definite as to who will play and who won't play.
85 covered up the tight end. The penalty's declined. 2nd down.
He wants DeBerg to be successful. He said, Vinny, every chance possible, the best offense, the best players, but he felt that after losing 3 in a row, he needed a change. But, DeBerg's hands are tied with his top receivers are injured. And they're not getting the production from the running back, Cobb, Anderson, or Stanford Jennings, or McDowell.
Here's Cobb. And really, what is his best run of the day? And he picks up 7. So it'll be 3rd down and 3. And the officials have called timeout.
Well, our umpire, Bob Boylstein, got knocked over, so we've got 2 officials out there that have felt just how hard this artificial surface is.
Got a sore jaw, but he will continue. And it'll be 3rd down and officially 4. Steve DeBerg, 5 of 12 for 25 yards. Got him. 3rd sack. This time it's Jim Wilkes with help from Pat Swilling. There's Wilkes, number 94.
That's a pretty good job of the entire defense, but there's Wilkes right in the middle. And they just overpower the offensive line. And DeBerg has no shot at all. But when you have guys that can rush the passer and get sacks, you can't double team all 3 of them. And Wilkes beats the single blocking and makes the sack.
Brzezinski is on to punt. 1 first down for Tampa Bay. The score is 17-7. Here comes the rush. Incidental contact. Gary Lane says no foul. Dowdell, boy, he makes it exciting back there returning those punts. He almost bobbled that one. 36-yard punt, nothing on the return. Saints have the ball. John Tice starts in motion. Play fake. Hebert deep across the middle. Hobie Brenner. Dropped one earlier. A flag is down back at the 42-yard line. Holding New Orleans. Santana Dotson said, I was the one who was held.
Holding offense, number 60, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Derek Kennard.
That 2nd penalty today on Derek. He got called for illegal use of the hands earlier. But the Saints are doing everything they can to keep Tampa Bay close in this one. First play of the new possession, they get a 10-yard penalty.
Derek Kennard is one of the really charming conversationalists in this league. He is a wonderfully fun guy to chat with. He was talking yesterday about an injury he sustained a year ago that cost him the season, and it came while lifting weights. First down, handoff, Hilliard out to the 37-yard line. Rams, Atlanta. The Rams have come back. How are they doing now? Let's go back and check with Greg.
All right, Vern, here's how they've come back. Little play action. Jim Everett will find David Lang coming across the field. Talk about speed. Watch David Lang burn up the sideline, 67 yards. The Rams have closed the gap. It's now 23-21. Falcons over L.A. in the third. Vern?
All right, Greg, our score is 17-7 with 10:33 remaining.
You see pass defenses like that around the league, Vern, and I'm starting to think about, well, now I really don't. Just kidding.
Call those the Matador defense, don't they?
Well, I love those type of days.
Wave as you go by. 2nd and 18, Hebert back. Screen pass. Hilliard gets by Broderick Thomas with the help of a block from Hilgenberg. Now he gets by yet one more man. Milton Mack gets him out of bounds. But 21 beat 21 for a gain of 31.
And Jim Mora told us yesterday that Hilliard is back to the form he had back in 1989. And all he did in 1989 was gain over 1,700 yards in offense, running and receiving. And this is why. Still has the speed and the real sharp cuts. Mack has the angle, takes 2 swipes at him, and then hooks him around the neck. What a day for Hilliard.
First down after the 31-yard run. Vaughn Dunbar inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 9:30 remaining. Third quarter of play.
You see that play by Hilliard, and then you go back to his touchdown run, and what you see is a worn-out defense already just midway through this third period. The Buccaneers have been on defense all day long. They're missing tackles, and they're being embarrassed by Dalton Hilliard.
15 first downs to 1. And a 2nd down and 6 on this play. From the 28-yard line. 17-7, Saints lead. Under 9 minutes remaining third quarter. This time Keith McCants makes the tackle.
And you see McCants, after he got help from Jimmy Williams, they're starting looking for that ball, trying to rip it loose, and that's what's got to be on the mind of the Buccaneer defensive players. They know their offense is in trouble. They know that they have to get a turnover and maybe do like Thomas did earlier, take it in for a score.
3rd and 6, 4 wide receivers set now for the New Orleans Saints.
But when you're tired, the tough thing to do is create turnovers. They desperately need one here.
Pressure coming. Hebert hit as he lets it go. Incomplete. Santana Dotson looping. And also Ray Seals had pressure on Bobby Hebert. It'll be 4th down. So Morton Anderson comes back on to try and pad the lead.
And you see the quarterback coming over to the sidelines explaining the reason that ball was so poorly thrown is, hey, I got whacked in the head, I got hit in the back. I'm not that bad a thrower. Bobby's telling everybody. And we know, Bobby, that you got hit before you let that one go.
Barnhart will hold. This will be a kick of 45 yards. Anderson is 2 of 3 today. He hit from 31 and 45. The miss came from 39. So the full house on All Saints Day is enjoying the Saint performance here in the second half. They're up by 13. In the end zone, it will be a touchback. Half of his kickoffs this season have been touchbacks, and there's another one added to the list.
Well, Swilling was the Defensive Player of the Year last year in the NFL, and we're going to check out how he's done so far today. He's got a .5, that's a half a sack in the old bullseye there. 0 right here, that's a pressure. This is a hurry, he's got 3 of those, and then 3 he's been out of the entire mix. The guys that have taken up the slack so far today have been the 2 inside guys, Martin and Wilkes. They each have a sack. But, you know, Vern, I always felt I had a bullseye on my back.
Now you know. Les Miller is in at the nose tackle right now. It's first down and 10. DeBerg hands it off to Reggie Cobb. And he is tackled after a gain of 1. Sam Mills makes the stop. Number 51, the inside man, along with Vaughn Johnson. And maybe the best quartet of tacklers in the National Football League still.
I think every coach that prepares for them is amazed watching them on tape. You have Mills and Vaughn Johnson, 2 guys that don't get a lot of publicity, but have been to Pro Bowls. Perfect combination. You got the speed and smarts of Mills and the muscle of Vaughn Johnson as your inside linebacker.
Second and 8, DeBerg goes deep. That's caught. Willie Drury is hurled down. He does have a first down at the 37. The tackle made by Gene Atkins.
And I like that type of play selection by Sam Weiss. His quarterback has got the old bullseye going, as we just showed. Well, let's get him out of that pocket, roll him out. DeBerg likes that type of action, and that was a successful play as the Buccaneers get this, pick up their second first down of the day.
From the 37, they trail 20-7. DeBerg almost picked off, flag is down. And the flag thrown by the umpire, which might indicate holding. Toy Cook defending for New Orleans. Oh, that's something you haven't seen in a while.
Clipping against the interior lineman there. But DeBerg was on a rollout.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, illegal chop block, 15-yard penalty on the offense, number 62. Repeat, first down.
That's Ian Beckles, number 62.
Here's Beckles. Watch his heel come down. The end is engaged and the center. And here's the illegal block. You cannot block down low on a man when he is being blocked up high.
As a result, it's first down and 25. DeBerg tries to throw a screen pass. Is that a lateral or a pass? The Saints alertly hustle for the ball.
I think they're going to call this a lateral. They're going to at least talk about it. Good move by the officials.
The ball will be dead at the spot of the recovery, second down.
It was a lateral.
Now, the problem with moving a quarterback around that has played 16 years in the league is he doesn't have that mobility anymore. It may work once or twice, but that's 3 plays in a row now that Weiss has rolled DeBerg out. This was a throwback screen to the tight end, and it was a disastrous play because it's ruled a lateral, and now another bad play as they get called for delay of game.
Tampa Bay, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
But, you know, during the discussion of the officials, the Buccaneers were delayed by watching to see how that play was going to be ruled. So as the officials are talking, they did not stop the clock. They kept the play clock going, and Tampa Bay had to wait to see what the rule would be as to where the ball would be so that Weiss could call the next play. I don't think that was quite right.
As a result, all they need is 37 yards. Here comes Swilling. Got it away to Gary Anderson. I'm not sure how. There's also a flag down at the 17-yard line. Good job by DeBerg of getting rid of the ball with Pat Swilling draped all over him.
There is no infraction on the play. It was a legal block. Third down.
Well, Swilling's determined to get a sack today, but it's the short pass by DeBerg. Watch as he just flicks it. Doesn't take it all the way back. That's a real heads-up play by the quarterback. And a veteran move. A lot of guys would go into their normal throwing motion, but he abbreviated it and got rid of it.
See the block by Willie Drury. That's where the flag was thrown. It's 3rd and 27. That one is knocked down by Ricky Jackson. It'll be 4th down. They're on their feet. Some of them.
Boy, if ever there was an opportunity or a good situation to go after the punter, this would be it. 4th down and a lot. You can sell out and try to make the block and not have to worry about roughing the kicker.
Dan Straczynski has not had one block this year. It's 4th and 27. Dowdell waits at the New Orleans 38. They have the return on all the way. Nice and high. Dowdell will return it from the 35. He keeps going backwards. He had a punt return of 34 yards. His first game as an active punt returner. That was against New Orleans. Since then, he's gone the wrong direction. Leading receiver in the history of the New Orleans Saints. And the leading receiver again this season, Eric Martin. Kind of a quiet day for him thus far.
And you wouldn't suspect that he'd see a whole lot of balls with this 13-point lead. You would expect the Saints to take the air out of the ball now, fill it with sand, as Hank Stram would say, and just run it.
There's a handoff to Von Dunbar. Fumble! Buccaneers have the football. 3rd turnover today. Broderick Thomas has all 3. 2 pass interceptions and a fumble recovery.
Unbelievable what the Saints are doing to keep Tampa Bay in this ballgame.
And give us an audience.
This ball just comes squirting out of there. We'll try to find out who hits it. This is the 15th fumble on the year for the Saints, and the 6th one they have lost. And Thomas is heads up. About 8 yards down the field, but he did make the recovery.
Buccaneers, however, have 41 yards total offense in the game. Here's DeBerg, hands it off. Reggie Cobb knocked out of bounds near the 31-yard line. Reginald Jones, number 27, made the tackle. Reginald Jones, whose alma mater, Memphis State, played here in the Dome yesterday. They whacked Tulane 62-something. Now 2nd down at the 30-yard line.
Can I signal for a little quiet from the crowd, Vern? We got
that's what it is.
Dixieland band right in front of us playing.
I saw those guys last night in the hotel. Cobb could be enough for the 1st down.
It might be an understatement to say that the Buccaneers need to score on this possession, but I've said it, and I believe it. If ever a team needed a touchdown after a turnover, it's Tampa Bay.
They do get the 1st down, so that gives them 3 in the ball game. But they trail by 13, 20-7 with 3:25 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Ty J. Armstrong and Ron Hall are in his double tight end. Reggie Cobb, big hole. Nice run at the 13-yard line.
This is pretty impressive for Tampa Bay to get the turnover and then give the ball to Cobb 3 times. You know, Weiss must have challenged his team on the sidelines to say, hey, let's get something going. Watch this block by Ian Beckles as he comes off and drills the linebacker. Beautiful hole. Nice job on that right side.
Got 12 on that one. Doesn't get a thing on this one. Frank Warren makes the tackle. number 73. It'll be second down.
A touchdown here brings the lead all the way down to 6 points. That's how important that fumble recovery by Broderick Thomas is right now.
Second and 9. Blitz. DeBerg fires in the end zone. Dropped. Gene Atkins had it in his paws. Missed it.
Well, the play action fake fooled almost everybody but number 28. Good fake by DeBerg. That's almost getting to be redundant, but look at Atkins. Just sit there, watch the quarterback, spy where the receiver Hawkins is coming from, does everything except make the catch. Great fake by DeBerg, but he did not fool number 28.
Third and 9. Pressure coming. Lets it go left side. It hits Reggie Cobb in the helmet. A flag is down. Hit him right in the forehead. Offside, New Orleans.
The ball was deflected by McDowell, and we're seeing some real weird stuff on this day after Halloween. Balls are dropped by guys that usually make the catch. Now the Saints line up offside and give DeBerg another shot at it, and he may need another shot at it.
Offside. Lined up in the neutral zone, number 56, half the distance to the goal line.
McDowell thinks this one's coming to him. He's going to hit it with his right hand, and boing, right off the face mask of Cobb. If Cobb catches it, he scores.
Right.
Nice defensive play by McDowell.
Third and 4. Handoff, Cobb. Cuts it upfield, comes back to the left. Fourth down.
Pretty determined run by Cobb that time as he was searching and searching along that line of scrimmage looking for a hole. Finally decided to bounce it all the way to the outside. Going to come up about a half a yard short.
Well, they will bring the chain from across the field.
And that gives DeBerg time to go over and get the play directly from the horse's mouth. I mean, the coach's mouth, Sam White.
Here comes the long trot with the chain.
Guys are taking their time, too, aren't they? Getting a little TV time. Get that home run trot going.
Yep.
Boy, they got some bad eyes, too. That's a full yard, isn't it? But see, the offensive team can request a measurement at any time. And if you look out there, the Bucs are taking advantage of it. Some of them have their hats off. They're resting, getting some air. They know this is going to be a very tough yard to come by. But the Buccaneers are going to go for it on fourth down.
Fourth and 1 from just inside the 4. Tampa Bay is 5 of 10 on fourth down conversions this year. Play action, touchdown, Willie Drury. And it was a very calm veteran quarterback who led that.
Absolutely. He got Cobb to line up in the proper position. Kind of an unusual position for a 4th and 1 to go with a 3 wide receiver look. Cobb lined up as a wide receiver to the other side, and DeBerg just calmly rolled out and threw a perfect pass to Willie Drury in the end zone. Great play by Steve DeBerg.
Ken Willis will tack on the extra point or attempt to do so. When the score was 7-0, Dan Fouts said the Buccaneers are going to have to get some points out of their defense. Broderick Thomas scored 1 on an interception. His fumble recovery led to this touchdown pass.
These guys are expecting a running play on 4th and 1. Easy play for the Saints, or for the Bucs rather, for the easy touchdown. But on 4th and 1, the Saints were anticipating the Bucs running the ball, so they had their safeties in and not their cornerback.
Ken Willett, short kick, taken at the 7. Fred McAfee. He is cut down finally at the 19-yard line. NFC East critical encounter coming up on Game 2. The Cowboys lead Philadelphia and Washington by a game. It's Philly at Dallas. Game 2 of our doubleheader on CBS.
When you think of Philadelphia and how well they've done against Dallas recently, but then you think about them playing in Dallas and the fact that Cunningham has been sacked 30 times already this year. I like Dallas this afternoon.
Yeah, I do too. I think so. Philadelphia looked great after that Monday night win over the Cowboys, but then they came out and lost to Kansas City. Lost again, and they're now a game back. 1:21 to go, third quarter, 20-14. Saints cannot shake the pesky Buccaneers. Here's Hebert. Seals was coming. Pass is intercepted. Picked off by Marty Carter. That's his 3rd interception of the season. The 3rd of the afternoon for Bobby Hebert. It was Ray Seals who applied the pressure.
And the Bucs are doing exactly what Weiss wanted. Find some way to win this game. Stay close. Bite, scratch, scrape, whatever you have to do. The defense is getting it done for the guys in orange today. That's 4 turnovers. And this one, back-to-back now, turnovers for the Saints in their last 2 possessions. Pressure by Seals from the left side, and Hebert gives it up to Carter. Here's the pressure from the right side of the screen. It's going to be number 98, Ray Seals. And that is almost close to being in our bullseye, isn't it?
Again, a very calm Steve DeBerg shouting out changes to his offensive teammates. First down from the 34. Anthony McDowell, the rookie fullback from Texas Tech. Anthony McDowell, a young man whose father was a career military man, spent much of his life in Belgium, graduated from Colleen High School. He is starting, his 10th game since high school. He started only 7 games at Texas Tech because of some academic problems.
And his first carry in the NFL last week against Detroit. How about this for an opening run of 21 yards? Pretty good start for the young man.
Gary Anderson goes right. And he's down at the 27.
And it's kind of fun to interview these kids that have that military background because they call you sir all the time.
Right.
I kind of like that, Bert.
Anthony McDowell was telling us yesterday, he's a delightful kid, about when he was 12 years old and his dad was in Belgium. He played Little League Baseball. They played a tournament in Madrid, Spain. He was a pitcher and hitter. He tossed a no-hitter, a one-hitter, a two-hitter in 3 successive games, went 11 for 14 with 2 home runs. Now he's playing football.
First name should be Bo, shouldn't it?
Said his hero is Deion Sanders, and that's why. He likes both baseball and football. That's the end of the third quarter. Second half have helped New Orleans, or rather Tampa Bay, stay in the game.
Here's Al Chambly. He's going to get his right hand on this ball. Popped it loose for Broderick Thomas. Now the Bucs have a big third down conversion play.
That led to a touchdown and made it 20-14. Now it's third down, and here's DeBerg in trouble. Avoids Ricky Jackson, fires it on the line. And the pop, the ball is free. It will be whose ball? Tampa Bay retains possession.
One thing about Steve DeBerg is he will compete. Watch Jackson come on the blitz. This is the first play of the game where Jackson made the play. DeBerg jukes him, a 38-year-old quarterback fooling a 34-year-old linebacker. What a huge play for DeBerg and the Buccaneers as they pick up the first down.
There was no fumble on the last play. Down by contact is the call. 1st and 10 from the 15. Cobb. No gain. Tackle made by Ricky Jackson with help from Vaughn Johnson. Reggie Cobb with 43 yards now on 13 carries.
It's amazing what good field position will do for an offense. It just seems to have picked this Buccaneer offense up. The leadership of DeBerg right now, the play calling of Weiss, and they're in awfully good shape right now.
With a chance to take the lead if they can get the touchdown. DeBerg into the flat, McDowell. That's a gain of 9, and he's got a 3rd and 1 at the 6-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons why this young man's playing. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, and what a nice job of regaining his balance and taking it down close to a first down.
No huddle offense on 3rd and 1. Cobb, 1st and goal from the 4.
Excellent use of the no huddle offense there. The Buccaneers hurried to the line of scrimmage, knew exactly what they wanted to do, and the Saints were back on their heels, and it was an easy conversion for Tampa Bay.
Officials have called timeout now to stop the clock.
It's for an injury timeout, and every time you see a player on an opposing team from a Sam White's coach team, you think back to the playoffs when the Bengals were playing the Seattle Seahawks one week and then the Buffalo Bills, and the way that the Seahawks countered the hurry-up no-huddle offense was to maybe perhaps feign an injury. Is that what we're seeing right here with Sam Mills? I doubt it. Looks like a cramp.
Time has been called. Must be after the injury timeout, at least for a play. James Williams has taken his place. Also in there now, Les Miller, Frank Warren, Swilling and Jackson on the outside. 1st and goal from the 4, Tampa Bay. They trail by 6. DeBerg has his arm hit as he lets it go. And it was Ricky Jackson who got to Steve DeBerg. When you think back to the comments we made at the beginning of the broadcast, Sam White said, we just need to hope we can be within striking distance in the final 15 minutes. And they couldn't have done it more perfectly.
Well, the big turnovers, 3 turnovers for Broderick Thomas, and the interception by Carter set him up pretty good here.
Draw play, Cobb, touchdown Tampa Bay.
You gotta love the play selection there. Obvious pass situation, 3 wide receivers in the game. Weiss comes with the draw play, catches the Saints off guard, and Cobb is in for a tying touchdown with a conversion to come. Weiss is having a pretty good day calling the plays.
Better than average.
And he had to coming into this game with the injury problems on his offense.
Willis for the lead. Points off turnovers are a sometimes overlooked statistic. But it's been an awful big part of the Tampa Bay story this afternoon.
You see the pass formation here. There's the draw. And the determined job of Cobb to get across the end zone.
Football League is sponsored by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. Miller Reserve, taste what barley does for beer. And by HP LaserJet printers. If it isn't a LaserJet, it's only a laser printer.
Craig Hayward takes the short kick from Ken Willis and gets it out to the 34-yard line.
Good play selection and good execution. Beckles with a good double team, and now the fullback will come and kick out on Vaughn Johnson. Good job there by McDowell, just taking the legs of Johnson away. And you can see Cobb takes the inside and the high road into the end zone.
Anthony McDowell, 8th-round draft pick out of Texas Tech. And a starter since midway through the first half of the season. First down and 10. Bobby Hebert has been picked off 3 times. Back to throw, Wesley Carroll. And Broderick Thomas makes the stop at the 40-yard line. And it looks like Hebert wanted Hayward in the game, so Craig Hayward hurries in.
That's a pretty good job of the coach going right back to the quarterback after he threw an interception and giving him a chance to redeem himself right away with an easy, high percentage type of pass.
Second down and 5 from the 40. 21-20, Tampa Bay. Hilliard saved by Thomas. And then some teammates come over to help knock him out of bounds. Keith McCants was a part of it, and so was Darrell Fullington and Milton Mack.
It's kind of eerily quiet in here, isn't it, Vern?
Yes, it is. The sellout crowd sitting back with a 20-7 New Orleans lead and thinking this was one in the W column, and all of a sudden those back-to-back turnovers have led to 2 Tampa Bay touchdowns. 21-20. 3rd and 4. Hebert right side. First down. Eric Martin makes the grab. And there comes the flag.
They're going to get Darrell Fullington for a late cheap shot. Martin was going out of bounds, and number 27 came in head high and drilled him, and an easy call for 65,000 Saint fans and a couple of referees to make. Sergeant Rock didn't like it any, but this is really a dumb play by Fullington.
Personal foul.
Going for the head.
Roughness, number 27, 15 yards from the dead ball spot. First down.
Well, you got everything going for yourselves as a team. You got all the momentum, and now you give your opponent 15 free yards. Fullington was arguing that Martin wasn't quite out of bounds yet, but I think he got the penalty for going up top to the head.
And as a result, it's a first down at the 39 for the New Orleans Saints. Tice in motion. Sets up to the left side. Dalton Hilliard at the 35. 10:50 remaining in the ball game.
You notice now Morris' choice of backs. Last time Dunbar carried, he fumbled. You may not see Dunbar anymore today. We will see this guy, number 21, Hilliard and Hayward in the backfield.
Hilliard with 11 carries for 36 yards and a touchdown. That came on a 17-yard effort. 2nd and 6 from the 35. Hilliard. Wow. Marty Carter. Pretty good contact in the open field.
Sometimes you see guys jump around when they make a tackle, and then you look back at the tackle and it's nothing. Carter was well deserving of his little dance afterwards. This is a big hit.
And as a result, it's 3rd down and 4 with 9:37 remaining in the ball game. Tampa Bay leads by 1. Timeout called by the Buccaneers with 4 seconds remaining on the play clock. Darrell Fullington called the time. He'll come over and chat with defensive coordinator Floyd Peters. And the reason he had a chat with him is
a real heads up by Darrell Fullington. He counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got to have 11. That's heads up by Fullington getting that timeout call.
And it brings up a 3rd and 4. Ray Seals was the missing down lineman. He's in there now. Blitz for one of the few times. Hebert goes deep. Early's open. Caught. Dropped.
If he could bury his head in that wall, he would have. No better way to say it than just dropped as you did, Vern. Another perfect throw by Hebert, who's got to be wondering what the heck's going on here today. Early knows he's running out of real estate in the back of the end zone, but it goes right between his hands.
Morton Anderson for the Saints lead. 50 yards. Perfect. The 21st kick of 50 or better in his career. And it gives the Saints the lead, 23-21.
But if this catch is made, that lead is a little bit bigger. Right through the hands of Quinn Early. And Milton Mack is the happiest player on the field, number 21.
He is an artist, and you're seeing a picture of despair. Quinn Early had a touchdown catch called back in the first half of the game.
Well, we saw his running mate, Eric Martin, drop one that would have set up the ball at least at the 5-yard line for the Saints. But this is a huge drop by Early, because it gives life again to Tampa Bay as they're only down by 2 points. A field goal by Ken Willis, who's having a heck of a year, could give them back the lead, and there's a lot of time to go.
Bobby Hebert on the sideline. His team back up on top by 2. 9:14 remaining in regulation. Anderson, touchback. Well, we've got a good one going here. The Rams in Atlanta have as well. Let's go back to Greg.
Burns seesaw battle in Atlanta. Billy Joe Tolliver on for injured Chris Miller. 13-yard TD pass to Michael Haynes. That's his second of the day. Atlanta by 2, 30-28, 9.5 to play in Atlanta. Burns.
All right, Greg, we've got New Orleans by 2 with 9:08 to go.
See, Billy Joe changed his number. Didn't he wear 13 last year?
I think he did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back to number 11.
9:08 remaining. Steve DeBerg for the afternoon. 10 of 20 for 75 yards. Despite a total offensive output of 107 yards, the Buccaneers trail by just 2. 4 turnovers have helped. Reggie Cobb out to the 22. And just file away the fact that they had to use one of their timeouts on defense with only 10 men on the field. Second down and 7. There's Sam Mills, who was taken out of the game with leg cramps just before a touchdown run a moment ago. Here's DeBerg, left side. Ron Hall, the tight end, and a first down at the 33. Clock shows 8:23 remaining. 9 yards gained on that play.
Bucs are operating a lot better in this second half. And you really got to feel that their confidence level has risen. But a lot of it has to do with Sam Weiss calling the plays and DeBerg executing them. That time it was that bootleg again. And every time he looks up, he's either got Jackson looking at him, or that time it was Swilling pulled up and threw a nice pass to Hall for the first down.
Under 8 minutes, first and 10. 23-21, New Orleans. Reggie Cobb to the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. Gain of 6. 17th carry for Reggie Cobb. And he's picked up 58 yards. Mentioned a while ago, takeaways and points off takeaways. 21 points, 3 touchdowns scored off the 4 turnovers that Tampa Bay has gotten from New Orleans. 3 interceptions and a fumble recovery. They'll run it again, and a nifty move by Reggie Cobb. Wayne Martin.
They ran the same play 2 times in a row, but this time Weiss takes out McDowell and brings in Stanford Jennings, a little tiny running back, to make this key block. It's the wham play on Les Miller, the nose tackle, and Miller never saw it coming.
Stanford Jennings, who was brought to Tampa Bay because of association with Sam Weiss at Cincinnati.
And was here with the Saints for 5 games last year.
Safety blitz, 1st and 10. Maxey is kept out of the play, and then gets an arm around Steve DeBerg as he's sliding down.
DeBerg was doing his galloping ghost imitation there. Watch as he gets around the corner here. Good fake against that safety blitz. Looks a lot like number 77, Red Grange.
Well, of course, Steve showed up in the Red Grange outfit yesterday for practice, and it was interesting for Dan and me to listen to Steve DeBerg explain to his younger teammates exactly who and what Red Grange is all about. The great Illinois running back who passed away earlier this year. 2nd down. Matter of fact, Red lived in the Tampa Bay area. Here's Wayne Martin with the tackle.
Here's Ricky Jackson. Watch the crowd that he draws. There's a hand around the throat by Ron Hall, and you wonder why the officials miss him sometimes. There's a lot of other bodies flying around. They can't see them all. But that was definitely holding on Ricky Jackson by Ron Hall.
3rd and 5. Buccaneers trail by 2. They have the ball at the New Orleans 48. Hall near side. Drury up on the line. Timeout because they had the formation all messed up. And Tampa Bay is forced to kill the clock for the 2nd time.
Boy, and in a 2-point game, your timeouts are like gold. And the Buccaneers are going to have to go down to the wire with just 1 remaining.
Well, it appeared to us that it was Willie Drury who was somewhat confused to whether he should be on the line or a yard off. Ron Hall trying to direct him, and then Steve DeBerg in frustration seeing the play clock wind down, call time.
And remember, Drury is a backup wide receiver, is filling in for Lawrence Dawsey, and has not had the playing time. And this is a new offense, so there's a lot of reasons why a guy would get confused. But this is a smart timeout. It's 3rd down and 5 to go. You don't want to take a delay of game penalty here to bring up a 3rd and 10. The Buccaneers are real close, maybe 15 yards away from getting Ken Willis within reachable field goal range.
3rd and 5. They've completed all 3 third downs this quarter. Blitz. DeBerg across the middle, caught, 1st down, and a flag is thrown.
They're going to call this back. They're going to call illegal pick against the Buccaneers. Whenever you have 3 wide receivers on one side of the field and one goes in motion, they're trying to clear it out for the guy in motion in the flat. And this is the result. Too often, it's called an illegal pick. Watch the receiver come back out here. He's going to go in the flat, and these guys are just going to try and make some traffic problems here for the defense. And I want to tell you, that's a terrible call by the officials.
Boy.
There was no contact at all. The officials saw the end result and suspected there might have been a pick, but there was no pick at all on that play. A terrible call by the field judge, Donnie Hampton. Unbelievable.
No contact whatsoever. And instead of a 1st down, it's 3rd and 15. thrilling. DeBerg, incomplete. A flag is down. Offside, New Orleans.
That'll still bring up a 3rd and long situation, but this is just an unbelievably bad call by the officials. Watch these guys right in here and see if there's any contact or any illegal block or pick by these receivers. There's none. What could he possibly be calling?
It was the field judge, Donnie Hampton, who made that call. That was on the play prior to this one. Now, after the penalty, most recent penalty, it's 3rd and 10. DeBerg rolls out right. Fires for Gary Anderson. It'll be 4th and about 4.
And you know, if he would have got maybe 2 more yards, that Weiss might have gone for it on 4th down with about 4.5 minutes to go in the game. But he's going to pin the Saints back. He likes the way his defense is playing right now. Straczynski will come into the game and punt it down, and hopefully, you know, maybe Dowdell will oblige him with a fumble punt return.
Dowdell has had problems returning punts. Straczynski leads the league in fewest yards of punts returned.
That's an anxious head coach looking on, too.
Straczynski goes left. It takes a heck of a Tampa Bay roll and will come to rest at about the 3-yard line. A 44-yard punt by Dan Straczynski. Saints have it back with a 2-point lead. Hilliard, E.J. Jr., and Marty Carter. And the clock is down to 4 minutes remaining.
That was a real ugly punt by Straczynski. 44 yards looks real good in the box score the next day, but it bounced on the 19-yard line and rolled 16 yards till it rolled dead at the 3. Sometimes you just get lucky, especially on this type of surface.
Now the ball is out at the 8-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 5. 3:35 remaining. Tampa Bay can stop the clock just one more time. The Saints will try and keep it on the ground, get one more 1st down. If they get a couple more, that ought to do it. And here's one of them. What a big day Dalton Hilliard has had. 12 yards on that play. Hilliard with 14 carries for 55 yards and a touchdown.
And they're running behind Richard Cooper and Jim Dombrowski. Huge hole on the left side. Let's take a look at Dombrowski right here. That's Cooper and Dombrowski, and they're just going to open a huge gap on this right side as he takes the youngster Dotson. Boy, that's as good as you can get for a running back. 1st down for New Orleans.
Tampa can stop it, as we said, just once. They're changing it defensively. Here's a busted play. Hebert, I promise you this. The design of Jim Mora was not to have Bobby Hebert carry the ball.
And when you run a one-back offense, if that one back goes the wrong way or the quarterback comes out the wrong way, that's the result. Tampa's used their last time out here. And that could have been disastrous for the Saints.
Well, they can stop the clock, or they do so now with 2:32 remaining in the game. They will get another stoppage of the clock at the 2-minute mark. And Bobby Hebert and Carl Smith will chat about it on the near side. Coming up, of course, Game 2 of our doubleheader. Important NFC Eastern Division battle from Dallas as the Eagles and the Cowboys go at each other. Troy Aikman, in his career in Dallas, has yet to defeat Philadelphia. You might remember that the Cowboys won a big game at Philadelphia last year, but Steve Berline was the starting quarterback in that one.
And also last year, Aikman went down 11 times to that pass rush of the Eagles. you tend to remember those things as a quarterback. Even after you've been out of the game for 10 or 15 years.
What was the largest number of sacks in a single game for you?
I forget. I really do.
Do you?
Because I never really cared to find out. All I know is that there were plenty of times when they got plenty of shots, but 11 times I know I never came close to that. I would fake an injury around 6 or 7 sacks. You know, I mean, why stay in there any longer?
Second down and 10. 2:32 remaining. Saints up by 2. They test the middle. And now a big third down play coming up, and that'll be coming up after the 2-minute warning.
And that was a real good use of that timeout by the Bucs, because they have a stoppage of the clock coming up here at the 2-minute warning, and now it's going to be a third down situation that the Saints will be faced with. They're going to have to throw the ball, and if the pass is incomplete, the clock will stop then as well. So using that timeout then was very important.
2-minute warning right now. When we return, the New Orleans Saints will have a third down and 6 from their own 24 with a 2-point lead. That his team can hang on to a 2-point lead. Floyd Peters, the defensive coordinator of the Buccaneers, his team has forced 4 turnovers already today. They do need one more, or a big defensive play here on third down.
Yeah, and what a great comeback for the Buccaneers. It faced all this adversity, led by that defense of Sergeant Rock. They're right in this one.
Out of the shotgun, 3rd and 6. Buccaneers send 3, drop 8. Hebert goes deep left side. Tipped away by Milton Mack. Intended for Quinn Early. And the Buccaneers will get one more chance.
And the clock is stopped at 1:53. That play took 7 seconds. So they're going to get good field position and the ball with a veteran quarterback to run your hurry-up offense. But what a play at the end of this by Mack. The ball was kind of poorly thrown to the outside. Early was behind Mack by 5 yards. He had to turn, wait for the ball. Mack had time to catch up and make the play.
Willie Drury waits to return it at the 35. Tommy Barnhart, number 1 punter in the NFC, a 44.7 average coming in. This is a good one. Drury at the 23. Down to 34. The clock will stop on the change of possession with 1:40 remaining. A 53-yard punt, 12 on the return.
Well, and the thing now for the Buccaneers is DeBerg knows that we've got to get our field goal kicker within range. That's the important thing. They're down by 2. A field goal gives them the lead and possibly the win. But you see the no timeouts, it's going to be tough. But if any team can run a hurry-up offense, it's got to be the Buccaneers. That's their base offense, the no-huddle, calling it at the line of scrimmage. The Saints need this crowd to get into it, though, and give DeBerg some problems as far as calling the plays at the line of scrimmage. The crowd is dead right now. They're kind of worn out, aren't they?
There's Ken Willis. It might come down to his right foot. They hand it off to Reggie Cobb. Out to the 40-yard line, and they cannot stop the clock. It will continue to run. 90 seconds remaining in regulation.
And you watch the Saints just laying on top of Cobb and some of the offensive linemen just trying to make it as difficult as possible for them to get up and back in their position.
2nd and 5. Corner blitz. DeBerg gets rid of it. Cobb and Atkins, and he's dragged down 2 yards short of the first down at the 43.
Boy, Cobb had the first down, too, it appeared, and he turned to the sidelines trying to get more yardage. Came up a little bit short.
1 minute to go. DeBerg, right side. Knocked away. Jimmy Spencer, number 37. He stepped in front of Courtney Hawkins.
Boy, and that was a 3rd and 1 play. Now the Buccaneers are up against it. They either convert on 4th down or they go home. This ball could have been intercepted by Spencer. A little bit underthrown by DeBerg.
4th and 1. Hawkins had his hands on it.
He's getting consoled by his teammates, and he's got to feel absolutely rotten because that's the ball game right there. He makes that catch, and his team still has another chance. This ball's going to hit him right between the 8 and the 5, and another drop ball today figures in as a big play.
First down and 10, and the Saints will run out the clock. Today's game was produced by Michael Burks and directed by Andy J. Kindle. The NFL Today was produced by Eric Mann and directed by Duke Struck. And the senior producer of the NFL on CBS is Ed Gorin. This game presented by authority of the National Football League, and this CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the New Orleans Saints, and the National Football League is prohibited.
Well, the Saints are going to get away with their 6th victory. You got a feel for Sam Weiss and his Buccaneers. They had a heck of an afternoon faced with a lot of adversity.
So for Dan Fouts, this is Vern Lundquist saying so long from the Louisiana Superdome, where the final score, New Orleans Saints 23, the Buccaneers 21. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after these words from your local station.